So a friend gave me their Bluetti AC180 because the DC charging port got all messed up in their van, and these barrel ports are just terrible for mobile use. I don't know why they put these ports on here, but I'm gonna see if I can replace this with something better. There are better videos out there that can show you how to take apart the Bluetti, and the board comes off pretty simply, just 7 screws, and it pops right off. And they have these nice protectors on all these ports. I scraped off everything from the back side of the offending port. See that? I don't know what all happened to that. Pretty simple port. The outer shell is the negative and the inner core is the positive, so I'm happy that they have just a nice little wire there. I can easily solder something else on there. And then the outer is also soldered onto the board itself. So I should be able to pretty easily pop that out of there and solder on my own wires. Okay, first I want to see if I can get this old connector out of here. Okay, came off easy. Fortunately, now see what it takes to get the rest of this off of here. And the solder is not melting. Needs a little bit to get going. There we go. A lot of solder on there. Try not to damage the board in any way. I'm assuming this thing will push out. There it goes. Pushes that way. Sweet. Nice hole. Can easily work with that. Excellent. Alright, so after some research and digging through my pile of stuff, I decided to go with the XT60 connector, which I think is what these things should have to begin with. Those barrel connectors, this is not the first power supply I've seen with burnt out barrel connectors. So I reused the hole. So I ran that through, put a zip tie on there to prevent it from coming out. And I determined the indexed side of this is the negative, making that side the positive. If I follow that through, that means the blue on this particular cable is going to be the negative and the brown is going to be positive. So I will set up to start soldering all that together. Alright, so this isn't my best setup job. It's all kind of pretty cramped trying to solder these wires, but I think we'll give it a go. All right, looks complete. Give that a second. Good. And if we get this shrink wrap out on here, which I don't know that that's going to go around that corner. I want to pop that wire off the board. Well, that's unfortunate. There it goes. Alright, that was a close one, but we got her on there to cover that there. Alright, that's that guy. Take a bit to set up for the other solder. I will be back. Alright, so I laid the ground wire on top of the existing solder from where the barrel connector was. So hopefully that will just solder right on there. Alright, that looks pretty good. Happy with that. Sweet. There it is. And I did confirm there's plenty of clearance for all of this extra looping wire in the back. And then with that zip tie on there, that's as much as that's going to come out. So that should be quite nice. In retrospect, I might have wanted to put a fuse on with this. I'm not too sure. But I don't feel like doing that, so we're not going to fuse it. Alright, so we'll just do some polarity and continuity tests here real quick. Now that it's all put in. So I have a cable, a solar charger cable. Okay. It's already got the XT80 on there. So we'll put that on. And that means we'll start with first we'll make sure there's no polarity between these. There shouldn't, not polarity, but continuity. Should be no continuity between these two. So good, no shorts there. So we'll do the ground, the negative to this one. That's good. And make sure it's not on the positive, that's good. And conversely, we'll do the red. That should be good there. And there should be no continuity there. All right. This is what it ended up looking like. Plenty of room when it's installed. It's not the prettiest. I wish I could like attach that right there or something, but there's just not enough room to do that. I think that'll be good. Looks like the zip tie is holding that good from stressing those. All right, I think we are ready for some power up tests. All right, I'm all set up here to do some hot testing. Decided to do it outside in case there's a fire or rapid disassembly or anything like that. And I have it in the shade here just so we can see the display better. So let's power it up. Okay, no smoke yet. That's all good. All right, let's fire up the DC, or the AC rather. There it goes. My heat gun, pretty high low on there. Everything is looking good. Got heat, got the expected wattage. Good. Turn that off. We'll turn on the DC. So on DC, I've got a 12-volt lunchbox heater that I use to heat up food often, so we'll wait and see if that warms up. And I also have on here a USB little fan. I don't remember how to turn it on. There it goes. Good, so that's all working. Still not seeing any smoke. Oh yeah, and the lunchbox is hot already. And it's pulling 33 watts. All right. Now for the real tests. I've got the original Bluetti cable I had to put on the XT80. And I also extended it because it was pretty short. And I have this on my other power supply. So I just have some control over it and to run the DC. So let's plug this thing in here. All right, so that's in. Let us turn it on. I'm not sure this little power supply can handle that. We'll see. It's looking good. And it is showing charging. Yay. Excellent. Good. Not seeing any smoke there. That's relatively, using the 12-volt adapter, it's a little lower voltage and amperage than we would get from solar. So I got a solar panel here we'll test it with. But good, no smoke, magic smoke coming out. Turn that off and let's put on the solar. Got the solar connected. I don't want to have it too close to my van, so I'm not going to put it on the full solar yet. It's coming in at 46 watts. Pretty good. So we're just going to let that run like that for a while. Oh yeah, also put the zip tie stress relief in there. There's only room inside there for one zip tie. The zip ties I normally like to do two because they can fail. So I put another zip tie stress relief there just in case the other one fails. So there we go. Let this do a good full test. I'll hook it up to the van solar at some point to give it some real power and then put her back together. All right, here we are at my van, and we're going to plug it into 500 watts of solar and see what it does. We really have to disconnect that quickly. Alright, looks like it's pretty stable at 156. Sun is still pretty low, so I'm not making full power. But it was at 22 volts. And wires are staying cool. Alright, well, we're going to let that sit for a little while and see how it does.